Welcome to another episode of If You Condone That Shit, This Shit, They're Gonna Own Your Shit. It is on 7/28. Okay, a lot of excitement happening in the last week. It's like been a whirlwind. Okay, Kenny, what do you think about Kamala Harris?
There's gonna be a lot of shit she's gonna go through, bro. I mean, a lot. They're gonna try to bring up every little nick and new anything, bro, to try to make her look like she's not. This shit's sad, bro.
Yeah,
it ain't even about governing the fucking country, bro. It's all about smearing names and doing what you got to do to get in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. She ain't a 34 count felon, so. She didn't lead a riot to the Capitol trying to overthrow government, and she didn't steal a whole bunch of secret documents and put them in the shitter. So I think you got a tall order. But then, hey, you're not going to be able to talk to the mega cult and tell them you're not going to be able to. Those people are lost to you. You got to understand that. The only people are going to be people who could still think, whose minds still work, who thinks about reason and cares about their country and care about that have a value system. These people are devoid of a value system. They don't have any fucking value system. Anytime you're going to put up a fucking criminal, they wouldn't let that motherfucker sell popcorn in a fucking movie theater. So how the fuck would you going to try to convince me? Now, the people I hang around, I have some friends that are Trump. They don't try to even convince me because they know that I have a brain. I have some fucking reason in my fucking head. So they're not going to convince me. They just know, oh, no, this fucker ain't going to listen to me. No, because I'm going to tell them, the first thing I tell them is to articulate the reason why you support Trump. Tell me all of the things that he has done to improve your fucking life. And
you get it?
Oh, fuck no. They'll give me, well, he did this. He started, he got more oil. I said, how did that help you? Well, it lowered the price of gas. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay. And then they'll tell me, well, he's trying to clean up Washington. How the fuck is he cleaning up Washington? He's the biggest crook in Washington. How in the fuck do you figure that shit out? So they
you lost any friendships over that?
I have one of my really good friends I lost, and hey, I'm not going to kiss nobody's ass. I'm not going to suck their member trying to be a friend with them. Okay, when you start talking crazy shit and telling me how. I've had some friends that told me, well, the Republicans may be bigoted, but they'll give you a job. I said, what the fuck? I don't. Just because a motherfucker gives me a job, is that supposed to be the whole yin and a yang of my fucking existence? Some motherfucker giving me a job? I mean, apparently the fucker never heard of Maslow's hierarchy of need. You would find out that those on the first three levels, job security and shelter and shit like that. There's other things in fucking life other than somebody giving you a fucking job. Now, a job is part of the foundation of your life. You always want one, but that's not a reason to listen to somebody spew bullshit, talk about hatred of you, That's not the reason. So who the fuck would turn around and say, oh, because he gave me a job, he can do all this kind of stuff. Oh, because he's, he makes me feel proud to be an American. Okay, what else? Give me some other shit. Yeah, at least I can be free. And everybody else except for me is not. See, that's it. See, long as I'm free, I don't give a fuck about nobody else. See, these people are dangerous, you know. And I thinking, you know, I had told you before, I said, I don't know about Kamala, but she's got the wind at her back here for a little while, and I hope she holds on to it. She got to hold on to it for 100 days, but she's coming up in the polls. She got a lot of support, and, you know, I hate that she had to come on come up on the corpse of Joe Biden, and it's not his corpse. It's just
who is our running mate? Did she,
no, they haven't done that. They've got a lot of people that they're looking at. Pete Buttigieg and the governor of Pennsylvania. They've got, I think, the governor of Minnesota.
And the governor of California.
Oh no, they can't. There's a thing in the Constitution where two of the same party can't be in the same state. And Kamala comes from California, so he comes from California, so they can't. The vice president and the president can't be of the same state. That's a rule. I don't know how it got to be, but that's it. The 12th Amendment. So
what did Google say?
I said, here's what it says. It says the 12th Amendment made a series of adjustments to the electoral college system for the electors, and it is now mandated that a distinct vote had to be taken for the president and the vice president. Further, one of the selected candidates must be someone who is not from the state as an elector. So the person who when the president is elected, he can't be. So if no president's candidate has a majority, this is all goes into the other stuff about if they don't have a majority and stuff like that. But no, they can't be in the same, I think it says 12th Amendment. So anyway, so that's what Google machine. It may not be right, but that's what they say. Okay, so that they cannot be from the same state. So it has to be from a different state. So that's why Joe Biden's was from Delaware, and Kamala Harris was from California. So, and here, tell you a little trivial shit. You remember George W. Bush?
Yeah.
Okay. His vice president was from the same state. He just moved there after he decided he was going to be the president, vice president. So he moved to Wyoming and bought a place in Wyoming and said, "Now I'm a resident of Wyoming." But they were both from Texas.
Ain't there some shit?
Yeah.
Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney was in Texas. He owned Halliburton. I think this is a Texas-based company. Yeah. So anyway, that's why he made all that money in the war. Halliburton got those no-bid contracts. But I digress. Anyway, so what do you think? What do you think about the momentum of Kamala?
Well, it's just the beginning right now, but we're gonna see. I see a lot of people flipped over it though.
Yeah. See, people are energetic, and one of the people had said he hadn't seen anything come of this that was such a ground swelling of support since Barack Obama. And he's afraid. He's afraid. He doesn't even want a debater. He pulled out. He had one of his lackeys said, "Hey, I don't want a debater until she gets the nomination because the Democrats can change their mind." Well, here it is. The Democrats going to meet in August, the 1st of August, and debate is in September. So what's your problem? She's going to be the nominee in August, so why are you pulling out now? So I think he's running scared because, all she's going to do is talk to him like a defense attorney. Okay, so here's So, what do you think? You think old Trump is scared of her?
I don't think he know what the hell he getting into, bro.
Remember, I told you, Kamala has every fucking office she's ran for, she's won. Every office. She's ran for district attorney of San Francisco, and then what's the other one? The county that's in San Francisco. What's the name of that county? Is it Marin or something like that? I think it's Marin County or something like that. She was prosecutor there. Then she ran for state prosecutor, attorney general, and then she ran for Senate, and then she ran for vice president. So every fucking race she was in, she's won. So
she didn't run for vice president, huh? Did they ever run in for vice president?
Yeah, she ran for vice. So, well, she had to run with Joe. She was on the ticket.
But I thought they on the president pick who he wanted.
Yeah, but she had to run. So she was on the ticket. So she went. She won the vote with Joe. So she won the vote for vice president. When he won, she won. Okay. But she's won every fucking election. He's won once and lost once, and probably will lose. This will be the twice. So anyway, so let's talk about this Jezebel bullshit that they're coming out. This is the first. Blow, and this kind of bullshit thing came out at the Republican convention that Mr. Ear, the poor defenseless ear man, was running, and the people out in the crowd was talking, had signs, are talking about Joe in the hole.
Oh fuck!
You know, I mean, if you would have called one of them a name, they'd be all fucking, they'd be wringing their hands and pissing their pants if you called them a name. You know, oh, it's uncalled for, but they can call you anything. And then they had that Mike Johnson had to tell them, hey, tone down the racist. You know, if your go-to is racism, what do you think you are?
Racist.
Okay, that's what I want to know. So anyway, but they were saying that at their convention. That was before they knew Kamala, but they were calling her a hold in. So now we're going to look in a little history. We're going to talk about the Jezebel stereotype. This is from the Jim Crow Museum. It says the portrayal of a black woman as a lascivious by nature and enduring is an enduring stereotype, depicts words associated with this stereotypes are singular in their focus: seductive, alluring, worldly, belligerent, tempting, lewd. Historically, white women as a category were portrayed as models of self-respect, self-control, and modesty, even sexual purity. But the black woman were often portrayed as innately promiscuous, even predatory. The depiction of a black woman is significant by the name Jezebel. So, a contemporary Susan Jules in 1993, a contemporary sociologist, conceptualized the Jezebel as a tragic mulatto with thin lips, long, tragic. That's a tragic, tragic, right? Isn't that tragic?
Yep.
Okay, mulatto with thin lips, long straight hair, slender nose, thin figure, and full complexion. This conceptualization is too narrow. It is true that the tragic mulatto and the Jezebel share the reputation of being sexually seductive, and both are antithetical to the desexualization of mammy caricature. A caricature. My fucking words get fucked up. Nevertheless, it is a mistake to assume that only or even mainly fair complexioned black women were sexualized, objectified by larger American society. From the early 1630s to the present, black American women of all shades have been portrayed as hypersexually bad black girls. Jules' conceptualization is based on a kernel of historic truth. Many of the slavery era black women were sold into prostitution were mulattoes, because they kind of look white. If you look white and you're doing them and they don't have no free will, it was all the better,
Mm-hmm.
Also, freeborn, light-skinned black women were sometimes became willing concubines of wealthy white Southerners. This system was called plaquage. Involved plaquage. Palcage. What would you call it? Plaquage? Placage? Or plaquage. Places or plaquage. Involved a formal agreement with the white suitor customer to financially support the black woman and her children in exchange for long-term sexual services. The white man often met the black woman at quadroons balls, a genteel sex market. Huh? Did you know anything of that shit? Did you know that shit? Hey, I like to blow in a little history here. The belief that black people are sexually lewd predators, the institution of slavery in America, European travelers to Africa found scantily clad natives. The semi-nude was misinterpreted as lewdness. White Europeans, locked into the racial ecocentric of the 17th century, saw African polygamy and tribal dances as proof of Africans' uncontrolled sexual lusts. Europeans were fascinated by African sexuality. Yeah, okay. William Bolson described a black woman on the coast of Guinea as fiery and warm and so much hotter than the men. Well, why would you be looking at men? William Smith described African woman as hot, consorting ladies who were continually contriving stegograms. I never heard that word, stegograms. It's probably a plan how to gain a lover. The genesis of anti-black sexual archetype emerged from the writings of these and other Europeans. The black male as a brute and potential rapist, the black woman as a Jezebel whore. Okay. The violent implications of the Jezebel. This is my third topic. The violent implications of the Jezebel attacks on Kamala Harris. Calling black women Jezebel has a long racist history, but as a recent video shows, it's also a more modern meaning among Christian nationalists. Okay, these are these cult fuckers who want to just create one religion. Okay. I'm not going to go into it, but and said predictably racist and misogynist attacks of Vice President Kamala Harris, now the preempted Democratic nominee for president, came from equal, predictable sources. She does not speak well. She does not work hard. said former spokesman Kellyanne Conway on Fox News on Sunday.
Why is she always picking her nose and shit, bro?
Because, hey, she's somebody that would hold her ass out for any kind of paycheck. You know, Donald Trump probably still paying her. You know, all these people, all their surrogates, they still get money, and they all want a place in the new White House if Trump wins. She should not be the standard bearer for the party. Republican Vice President nominee J.D. Vance went the same lazy trope, adding a non-subtle welfare clean allusion to Harris. What the hell have you done than collect a government check for the past 20 years, Vance demanded at a campaign rally. Well, let's talk about that. This fucking lady was a prosecutor in San Francisco, prosecutor in the county of that San Francisco resides, and then became the state attorney general, and then they voted her a senator of the state of California. Do you think if she was a lazy, worthless piece of shit, her mother and father were immigrants. Her father was Jamaica, and her mother was from India. Okay, and then she had to go to college, pay her way through college. Maybe she got a scholarship, but she worked hard to get wherever the fuck she was. And then there was a guy. There was a guy in San Francisco that was I think it was a alderman or something. His name was Willie something. I can't remember the name, but they had a brief thing when Kamala was a district attorney there. Okay, yeah. So what is that? Everybody gonna do some fucking, no matter who you are, huh?
You're gonna have a little penetration session in it somewhere, huh?
Somebody's going to do some fucking. What do you want her? Is she supposed to be a fucking monk? Said come out of there as, what is it? What was that lady name that led the French and they burned her? Joan d'Arc? Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc. Okay. Yeah. So she's supposed to be Joan of Arc, supposed to be a virgin or the Mother Mary or some shit. She's got a life like everybody else. And then they want to talk about her, that she doesn't have any kids. What the fuck good any of your business? What the fuck business of yours? Well, good. But what I'm trying to say, everybody don't have to have kids. So, everybody ain't got to have kids. I had one. That was enough for me. Didn't want no more. Said, okay. One is enough. Okay. Some people had 8 and that was enough. But I had 1, man. So I didn't want that. I didn't want any more than 1. Okay. Because I grew up in a house with 6 kids. Okay. And yeah. I know I didn't get no attention. So what I was going to do was give my kid the ultimate, all my full attention, And that's what I did. I raised one and I gave my full attention to it. So anyway, but that's my choice. And everybody should have a choice. We're not baby making machine. People who have too many fucking babies kill themselves. Every time you risk having a fucking pregnancy, you risk your life. Pregnancy can go wrong. You can have all kinds of things happen to you, That's why I have a friend, and when she was a little girl, her brother was in her mom's belly, and her mom got urea poisoning and died. Okay, now they can fix that, but back in the day they couldn't do it. Well, that killed her mom. That took her mom away. If her mom didn't have another kid, her mom would live to be a ripe old age, but it took her mom away. So every time you get a pregnancy, you risk your life. You could have eclampsia, preeclampsia, all kinds of shit can go wrong, So that's, people risk that. It's a lot of love to have a kid, okay? And I'm not talking about men. Well, men love their kids, but women got to risk their lives on shit. So, that's what I'm saying. So what the fuck business is it of them? And then they had, she's married to her husband, and they have stepkids. And his ex-wife wrote a letter saying how great a stepmom she is. Now, how about that? Most people, you get married to their ex-husband, they ain't going to even talk to you. But she wrote it, and their children wrote and said how good of a stepmom this woman is. So I think you fucking barking up the wrong tree.
That's rare. That's rare to have a stepmom give another woman.
That's it. What was that? I think that was D.L. Hughley said, it takes a hell of a man to raise another man's seed. Same thing for a woman. Takes a hell of a woman to raise another woman's child, and then treat it like your own. Okay?
Yeah.
So, she's, I don't know her personally, but her reputation is starting to shine through. So anyway, but we've talked about all these racist tropes that they're going to come up with. Okay. So, but we talked about him backing out of the debate, saying that he's going to wait till they make sure, So your scary ass. And here's another thing I want. You know what, Kenny? I didn't talk about this the other day when we had we talked about Trump getting shot.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about, they give you a ballistic class about gunshot wounds. When I was on the fire department, they tell you there's a thing. You ever heard of a thing called the blast effect?
The blast effect?
Yeah, they teach you that in the police academy.
I think I heard of it, but
okay. High-speed bullets going through tissue. You ever seen somebody go out there and take a watermelon and shoot it, and the fucking watermelon blows up?
Yeah.
Okay. That's called the blast effect. Blows up the fucking one because the bullet is going such a high velocity, it sends out shock waves into the fucking watermelon. And let me see here. Do you think even if the bullet would have hit the tip of his ear, he wouldn't have a fucking ear on a 223? 223 does massive damage. I mean, if you hit somebody close to the fucking, to a vital organ, it does internal damage to that organ, even though it didn't touch it. The blast effect goes out into it. Okay? So if he's got a piece of cartilage and there's not going to be a blast effect on it? Huh? That's what I'm just asking. Ballistics people, I'm sure some ballistic person is going to chime in and say, hey, that does sound crazy. You shoot somebody, because you could shoot somebody in the fucking hand and you would think that it would just go straight through it. No, it fucking blasts and kills all the blood vessels in the fucking hand. It blows up the blood vessels. So anyway, I digress. So I get on a tangent, but that's what I was thinking about. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about this. We saw this fucking stupid ass police officer. This has got me fucking. Did you see that video of? You used to be a policeman. So tell me, what the fuck was your, her name was Massey? Because, they're going to be somebody. They're always going to be some motherfucker that's going to come up with an excuse for the cop. Now, this thing was Sonia Massey was her name. Okay. Now, this fucking thing, I have been over people's houses where they're acting crazy, and they've had water on the stove or whatever, or they had a boiling hot plate of grits or some shit like that. And you know what? They never wound up dead there, Kenny. But I wasn't an asshole with a gun, okay? I didn't get fired 4 times from my fucking job. So, you know, I worked 30 years as a firefighter, and I didn't have no fucking, they didn't fire me once, man. Go figure. Anyway, this fucker, she's calling them to assist what she thought was a prowler, okay? It really didn't require them to come in her house, right? The prowler is outside, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, she may have let him in because maybe she thought that these fucking guys were going to come in and search their house, and there might have been a predator snuck in their house. Okay, I can go there if that's what their initial thing was. But here's the thing. They're sitting there asking her for ID in her own fucking home. Hey, you got any ID? I don't need to show you shit. If I'm in my house, I called you to my house. Okay?
I think the guy who camera was filming, he should go to jail too. He know right from wrong.
What is he going to do? Shoot the guy?
No, I'm saying the guy who shot her, his camera wasn't on him.
Yeah, here you didn't have his camera on. Yeah.
The other guy that was in there, he knew what he was doing was wrong. He should get fucking fired too.
Oh, but did you hear the bullshit they were doing? They said it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers, come on. Huh? And then they want you to give them respect. What the fuck? You earn fucking respect. Hey.
But the shit she was saying before she got shot make me think that he was the devil, bro. Hey, she kept saying, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, right?
Uh-huh. Hey, and maybe she was high on some shit.
Maybe it was the devil. Who gonna do some shit like that to somebody, man?
I don't know. And I saw the thing, and I looked at this. I went to I have a video. I'm going to place 2 different videos on there, and one of them from Court TV. And the video, the guy sits up there. Well, she threw the pot. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? The lady pulled the pot up in front of her face because he was aiming a gun at her fucking face. She was trying to hide behind the fucking pot. And then she says, I'm sorry, and he leans in to shoot her. He takes 2 steps towards her. Come on. But get this. The fucking union says that they're going to say that he shouldn't have been fired.
What?
Yeah, they're going to file paperwork on Monday saying it was an unjust termination. Huh? See, that's what's wrong with these fuckers. See, if you can't police your own and say, now I know the union has the ability to do stuff like that. Union has in their code of ethics, they're supposed to defend you. But hey, there are certain times when you can't defend somebody.
Not like that.
Okay, the guy did something wrong. He fucked up, and then. Check this out. This motherfucker, the other one said, oh, I'm going to get my kit. He said, oh, you can't save her. She got to hit it. Just let it go. What the fuck? So not only is he a killer, but he's not going to even give her the benefit of having, some medical treatment. Just let her go. Huh? That's depraved indifference right there. What do you think they put a medical kit? Why would you think they give cops a medical kit if you don't need to use it? Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you, I don't think cops should ever have a medical thing in their whole fucking thing because they don't have the mindset. They're a threat and no threat situation. You can't do things when you're sitting in judgment of another human being or you're thinking about laws and all this other bullshit, you're not going to treat that person. That's my own personal opinion. Maybe it's, and I know that when in New Orleans, they were, the emergency medicine was under the police department. And I thought, oh, this is some fucked up shit, because I would not want, when I go there, I can go into a person's house and they know that I'm not coming there to harm them. I have no motive except for what, Kenny? Saving them. Taking them to the hospital and doing no harm to her. Okay? So why would you give police officers, now I commend them if they had a medical kit, but then the guy's going to turn around and tell you not to help, and that's an option. How is that a fucking option? And here's the thing. Do you know, I had a medical license from the state, and I could not call someone dead. I cannot do that. Exactly what he did. Said, oh, she's dead. I could not do that. Under the laws, you cannot claim someone is dead unless you see lividity or they have a severed head. We've never been able to attach a head back on anybody. Okay? Now your head is severed, or you've got what they call rigor mortis or lividity. You can see lividity where they have your blood has, when you're dead on a long time, you get this black and blue bruising on the bottom of your body. Okay. That's called lividity. Okay. So, that's the only way you can call a person dead. The only person can call a person dead is the paramedics that have an EKG machine. Okay. And even them cannot make the determination of a person who's been shot until you get them to a hospital. So who the fuck is he? Who the fuck is he to say she's gone? Okay. And then who the fuck is this union who's going to go to defend him, this fucking predator? And go on with this, Kenny. This motherfucker has been fired 4 times in 5 years. Huh?
From different forces, right?
Yeah. You talk about pushing some turd down the road. And hold on. He's got 2 DWIs.
And they're going to try to save his job.
This motherfucker. And you see what he did? He fucked that other police officer, because now that other police officer's in on the lie, because what they tried to say is that lady shot herself. Self-inflicted gunshot wound. And why would you do something like that? You know what I always used to say? The truth will set you free. You just tell the truth. And if you fuck up on something, hey, one time I was pulling some guy out of a rescue, and the fucking rescue, the gurney broke. The guy was all in the backboard and everything, and the gurney broke. Was that my fucking fault?
No. Okay,
I didn't have nothing to do with it. You know what I did? I took that fucking rescue out of service and got another gurney, but there's nothing I didn't intentionally harm him. Okay. And when I got him into I said, oh shit, we just dropped him from we pulled him out of the rescue, and they have a little latch where you pull him out, and the gurney locks into place. You can feel it, and it's supposed to lock. So they pulled this, and you pull this little handle up that's attached to the inside of the rescue, and that allows you to pull the gurney away. Okay. Well, when they pulled it away, the fucker dropped on the ground, and I said, so I reported that to the doctor. I didn't try to hurt him, but he might have got hurt because he was in full C-spine, C-collar, and everything. But I didn't do it. I mean, I didn't want to hurt him, but I did exactly what I was supposed to do. Took that. I didn't try to make up a story. I just went in there and told him the truth. The truth will set you free. Now, this fucker, because of how outrageous he did, then he thought that, I'll just make up a story, She shot herself with your gun? Huh?
That's the funny shit. Yeah.
He took your gun from you. And then this motherfucker, like you said, he doesn't have his camera on. And he's not, you know, he doesn't have his camera on. The other guy's following policy and procedure by turning on his camera. And then I know they didn't want to give out that video because they probably tried to hide all that shit. That's why first story, she killed herself, you know. And like I said, maybe she did see the devil. Maybe she saw that this fucker is going to kill her because he went from, because he said, and because she was asking a question. So what do you think? You think I'm going to throw this on you? She said, if you do, I'll shoot you in the face. What the fuck?
The ex-football player was on steroids and still taking that shit, bro.
It probably is, you know, and he's gotten to a roid rage. So it doesn't make a difference. Hey, he's in the place where he should be, okay? He should be where he is, in jail, you know. And we came a long way because probably just like that other guy with the guy that caused all the riots. What was the
Rodney King?
No, not Rodney.
George Floyd?
George Floyd. Okay. That fucking cop went home and fucked around for, 2 or 3 weeks before they arrested his ass. Well, this motherfucker went to jail right now. So there's something that you can at least say, hey, we're making some progress.
Try to take all that shit away.
And then, well, you don't know because you might have a prosecutor that turns around and says, oh, I don't think he did anything wrong, because that's always the case. But even if he did, they're still going to get him with civil rights. So he's going to go to jail, a civil rights abuse. So either way, he's going to jail. So, and he's going to be penniless. So, what was that? To me, it looked like he thought that was going to be a perfect opportunity to get away with a shooting, thinking it'd be just him and his buddies, story, and I think that's a pathological, that shows you about the mindset of police officers. Now, I've had police officers come to my house and, I'm uncomfortable around police officers, and I work with them intimately for years, but I'm uncomfortable about them. I tell them where and what they can do when they come to can I come in your house? Nope. You just stay right there. Stay right at the front. Oh, well, I just want to come. And so I know you want to come in, but you're going to stay right there. Okay. Especially if I called them. I'm not letting them in my house, So I walk outside, close my door, and lock the door behind me. Now, you may think that's overkill, Kenny, but no, I'm not going to. And when I stand in my in the doorway, there's a camera with a mic on it. So every fucking thing they say and do is recorded. And when I open the door, there's a camera there with a mic on it too. So everything they say and do is recorded. Okay. So, I had a cop come in and told me, I want to take your surveillance system out. I said, what do you mean what do you mean you're going to take my surveillance? Well, we'll bring it back. I just want to look at it. I said, I don't care if you want to look at it. It's mine. You go get a court order and then we'll talk about it. I said, but I'm not giving you. I'll look and find something, because there was a pedophile in my neighborhood and he was, there's a high school and a elementary school close by. And this guy was sitting in his car and jack off while the kids go by. Yeah. So, and they wanted to know if I had his car on my camera. So I looked through my number. I said, well, give me the days of the week that you were talking about. Because my camera goes up and down the street. It's a nosy fucking camera. It goes up and down and moves around. I got 16 of them. So they're always looking around, nosy bastards. But most of the time, I don't look in my neighbor's backyard and shit like that. I got that screened out, so you're not going to see anything. I don't take pictures of my neighbor because he might want to sit in the backyard naked, and some of my cameras can see over his fence. So I don't do that. So I don't want to. I don't want to have that picture in my head, and I don't want the. I don't want them to think that I'm a pervert. So anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah. So, but they told me they wanted my camera. So, I mean, not my camera, my DVR that I keep them on. I said, oh no. I said, well, no, we'll handle it. I said, well, what is it doing for me when it's at your place? I said, see, I purchased it to protect this house. Okay. That's the reason why I purchased it. It's not for to assist the police department in solving their crimes. I don't have shit to do with that. That's the police department's job. My job is to protect my property. Okay? Now, if I can assist you in any way I can, I will do that. But I am not going to let you take some shit off of my shit out of my house. Okay? But they were so yeah, my shit. So, oh, well, let us take it. We'll take it to the lab. I said, no, you're not taking shit. I said, I'll look on there, and if I find anything, I'll send you the recording. Oh, okay. Well, everybody else, I said, I don't care what everybody else does, you know? So, you know, but that's the way it is. So, you know, even though I have a rapport with them, I'm not going to let them come in my house or take something from me. So because there's people like this guy, you know, and I hope you do the same there, Kenny, because they're like that, you know. So and I don't have a I don't have a thing. You were a police officer. Have I ever said anything disparaging against you as a police officer?
No.
Okay, there you go. So I don't have anything against them, but I'm not going to give them an opportunity to come in my house because I don't know what the fuck they're looking for, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have people come into my house and see something in my, oh, well, I used to have one of that. Well, some of my neighbors, I used to have one of that, but got stolen. I said, well, it didn't get stolen from me, buddy. I said, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. So I used to have this. I said, yeah, well, okay, well. You didn't get it. It didn't come from me. I didn't take your shit. So, you know, because as I always say, my house is locked up tighter than a bull's ass in fly time. Ever heard that, Kenny?
No. Sound like some cranky say on Beverly Hills.
It is. Locked my ass tight. So anyway, that's what I wanted to discuss that, and I know I went over on it, but I thought that was such a tragic loss of life. Even President Biden said she should have been alive. Well, I got to hand it to Joe, and he says they should pass that George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. And let me, for one, we talked about Project 2025, right?
Yeah.
The Trump's wish list, so when he gets to be president, and one of the things is to get rid of all consent decrees. You know what a consent decree is, don't you, Kenny?
What is that?
Okay, when a police department does some shit and they're all fucked up, say they like Los Angeles, who's they're a fucked up police department, but they had history like that. What is it, Rampart Division, where they had a whole bunch of corruption, and they had, the cops treating people bad and have a history of beating. Well, the Justice Department takes their ass to court, and they sue them. And then they win in the court, and they say, okay, well, and maybe it's not the court, but they tell them they're under investigation. They give them a choice. They said, you can go, we'll put you under a dissent decree, and that dissent decree will tell you what you need to do to meet the standards, the Justice Department standards, or normal policing standards, so that you can improve yourself. And you're being run by judge. So you're always, everything you do is overseen by somebody higher than the internal division, like the chief and stuff. So this person sends out people, and they work hand in hand with. But anyway, Project 2025 says they're going to eliminate that. So what is that? Isn't that like a wanted poster for black people?
Yep.
They're putting a wanted poster in your ass. And I was watching a show today, which really kind of pissed me off. And they were talking about, they had seen black guys talking about how they were for Trump. And I said, here's a guy that says he's going to get rid of fucking dissent decrees, so that trying to help you from getting your ass killed in the streets. And I'm for that guy. There was the other fucking thing. Oh, he's going to get rid of the equal rights thing, and he's going to set up an office working towards eliminating discrimination against white people. Okay. You seen a lot of white people getting discriminated against, Kenny?
I like to see it.
No, but that's it. They gotta get. They think that they're being discriminated against more than anybody. I had a friend of mine said the white man is the worst. Has been discriminated against than any other minority. I said, well, give me. I said, articulate it to me. Tell me what you mean. I said, tell me about the laws that restrict to a white man. I said, did they ever have a law that says your ass wasn't in a town at sundown? Did they ever have a law that said that you couldn't have sex with another type of race of woman? Did you ever have a law that said that you were enslaved from birth? Did they ever have a law that made you sit in the back of the bus? That told you that you couldn't eat at a lunch counter? When all those laws that you're saying you're discriminated against, tell me about it. Well, somebody treated me bad. A Mexican person treated me bad when I went to a store. Oh, no. Here's the thing. That was one of them, and then the other one was, well, I went to rent an apartment, and the landlord asked me, was I Hispanic? And I said, what was your answer? He said, no. I said, did you get the apartment? Yeah. How's that discrimination? Because I can tell you what, everybody knows if you're black, don't they? Yeah. I can't tell them, say, no, sir. I just have a tan. I'm not black at all. I just have a tan. So you should rent me this apartment. I'm not black. Do you think that guy would believe me? But he could say, oh, I'm not Hispanic. So.
All this shit is crazy. Yeah.
Well, that's what I want to know. Tell me the discrimination. I want to know the discrimination. I got a YouTube video, and there's this young kid, and I want to talk about that. And he talks about white privilege, and there's a black lady and a white lady watching it. It's not YouTube. It's a X video. I'm going to put a link to it in the show notes. But this white kid had, it's a poem that he writes, and it is so amazing. And it talks about discrimination, and says that how he doesn't, that he accepts that he's got, he understands that he's got an advantage, unearned advantage, and that, but he would really prefer a world that everybody's treated equally. But I really can't do justice to it unless you watch it. So I must try to get the link in X and put it up on the on our show notes so people will do it, because it will blow you away. Because it's I've never seen a young person understand the nuance. I have friends that are in their 60s and 70s don't understand the nuance of racism. And this kid articulated bright, clear, concise, and in verse, and with such compassion that you just want to try to figure out how did this kid become such a brilliant person, especially on anything in the neighborhood of race. So anyway, it is worth listening to and watching. So I would suggest the people who are following us to check it out. Anyway, Kenny, we are almost up. What do you want to add? Tell me what tell me your deepest, darkest, the shit that makes you mad this week.
The whole world is in trouble, bro. I mean, the whole world is in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I am an optimist who is pessimistic at times. And one of the things that I understand that I was talking to a friend of mine. They're like 91 years old, and they were telling me about going to San Francisco, a San Francisco hotel in probably 1949. Okay, and they saw Nat King Cole at the hotel. Now, of course, they're white. Okay, so they said how tragic it was that Nat King Cole couldn't get a meal at that fucking hotel. They paid him to play. They let him go into the ballroom, but he had to go out through the kitchen. He couldn't stay a room in that hotel. And while we think that everything is hard upon us now, imagine Nat King Cole's life. So we change the face of the world by inches, by each step, by not giving in to hopelessness, by wanting something better for our children, and by working hard to change the status quo, and by never letting that motherfucker Trump back into the White House. So that's how we change the world. We give, that's it, and whatever the people, you got to look at the bigger strokes, and we're not in the world that my mother and your mother grew up into. Like, my mother couldn't vote until she was in her 30s because the laws didn't allow her to vote, and she imparted upon me the high responsibility, and people do it like, it's nothing. I had a friend of mine threw their vote in the garbage, and I said, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Oh, I don't like to vote. So I know you don't like to vote. People have fought and died for you to vote.
I know I said this once before, but I really think if your mom was still around, she would have been a good podcast host, bro.
Oh yeah. She had the voice. Oh man, and she had the ability to. She had opinion on everything, and she could articulate the reasonings for why she had that opinion. It may not have been. Go ahead.
Hear her talk, bro. I just love to hear her talk.
Oh yeah,
like you said, articulation. Shit, that is like she was a teacher or something.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, but she was a you know what? And when she was in high school, she was like the valedictorian of her high school. Did she ever read you a valedictorian speech?
No.
Oh yeah. She used to tell it to us all the time. She never forget that shit. Ever in her, and as long as she lived, she never forgot that. And I never forgot. There's in my computer room, there's a little bronze plaque, because every time I would go test for a job or something like that, I would call her up, and I would say, Mom, read me, say to me the poem, and the poem would I'm not going to get it perfect, but it says, if you think that you're beaten, you are. You got to think high to ever win a prize. Life's long battles don't always go to the strongest or fastest man, but sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. So that's her poem that she read to me all the time, and I have never forgotten that. So now that we know that we can't never think that we are beaten, because we will be. And we got to think high before we can ever win a prize. And the prize is not to let that motherfucker in office. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to, I didn't go into it, but I'm a good 1 minute riff. That motherfucker, Benjamin Netanyahu, went before Congress, and all of those bobbleheads sitting there applauding this fucking killer of people. What do they call it? Genocide? A captain of genocide. I don't know if I'll put it in this one or the next one, but I saw on X where they were showing all these kids that been shot by a sniper rifle. These motherfucking low-life scumbags are sitting there targeting little kids with sniper rifles paid for with our fucking money. Okay? These low-life scumbag. And I pray to God that there's a hell for you, soldier.
Let me tell you what pissed me off about all them.
What?
These fucking people, they killing. They ain't much got no weapons, no kind of fucking
No. They're just killing them. It's sport to them.
They think they're bad, bro. They think they're bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you ain't nothing but a punk ass motherfucker that's shooting little kids, and you will always be a punk ass motherfucker, no matter what fucking uniform you wear. You low life scumbag, son of a bitch. If you're shooting kids with a sniper rifle, you're a low life son of a bitch, and I stand before that, and I'll tell it to you in your fucking face. Okay. So, but that's how I feel. And with that, Kenny, I'm going, because this war rages on, we're going to your song.
The world is spinning out of control, a never-ending cycle of blood and soul. Families torn apart, children left alone, as they march to the battlefield with hearts of stone. Why are they killing everyone? Is it worth the damage done? Our tears fall like the rain as we watch them die in vain. Bombs exploding, bullets flying all around us. There's no denying the horror of war. The price we pay for our leaders, greed, day after day. Why are they killing everyone? Is it worth the damage done? Our tears fall like the rain as we watch them die in vain.
Okay, Kenny and the Scalwag are out.
Oh.